Hi guys, so this is part 8 of What If Naruto Was Kamen Rider Faiz. So let's start. Chapter 21. The month passed quickly, several dates with, well, all of his girlfriends, Naruto and the passing Chunin hopefuls got training done and it went incredibly well, though Minato would make Naruto Chunin no matter what, not that Naruto knows. The girls all got mastery over their original techniques and learned a few new ones. Hikari got the Rasengan and Tsunade's monster strength, Haruna got chakra molding for more than just chains, Haku with more ice and water jutsu, while the Uchiha sisters got the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and new fire jutsu, thanks to Itachi's genjutsu of the girls killing Naruto, which caused the two sisters to cry into Naruto's chest when Makoto told Kushina about it and left the girls to sleep over at the Namikaze compound. As for Naruto, he got to the point that he could use the Hiraishin with one kunai in a 100-meter radius, the Rasengan in multiple versions, and the Faiz blaster form. He even got a new summoning contract for 3 dragons, known as Bile, Piscus, and Dragor, as his sisters got their godparents' summoning contracts, Haruna getting the Slug contract like her mother and Hikari the Toad contract like her father. Naruto was offered to sign one of them, but he declined. Imagine Tsunade's expression when she found out Naruto had the contract to her grandfather's dragon summons, absolutely hilarious. Flashback. Naruto was strolling around the training grounds aimlessly since he was taking the day off, only this day, he ended up on the Hokage monument. He unknowingly walked to a door that was well hidden, right above the Shodame's head, and was covered with a tiny genjutsu, which was impossible to miss in a close range, but impossible to see at long range. Out of curiosity, Naruto opened the door and entered. He walked along the long tunnel and ended up in a very large area. There were 3 dragons, 1 brown, 1 silver, and 1 white. The brown and silver dragons were the same size, around bijou size, but the last one was twice the size. The white dragon roared as 3 of them jumped from their locations and landed in front of Naruto. The white dragon bellowed, "Who dares enter the sacred place of the dragons?" Naruto looked up and said, "I'm Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. I found the door on the head of the Shodame Hokage Senju Hashirama on the Hokage monument. It lead me here. I apologize if I intrude your sacred place, Doragun-sama." The 3 dragons were surprised that a human had the guts to reply, and what shocked them even further was the lack of fear in his eyes, a 12 to 14 years old boy. Of all the people they met that came in through the door, only one person was like Naruto, aka Hashirama Senju. That was why they requested the first Hokage to build the door over his head of the monument. Naruto looked at them without fear, something that not even the youngest one in the past to come here, which was a man at the age of 25, didn't have, and those who had fear were eaten, a deal made by Hashirama and the 3 dragons, that if one came without fear, they were to be made a summoner, and with fear would be eaten. So the white dragon nodded, respectfully, since they were quite frightening to begin with and talking with their dominating voice only made it worse, and said, "You faced us without fear, you are worthy, I would like you to become our summoner." Naruto was taken aback by this revelation. "Wait, you mean I become a dragon summoner?" The brown dragon nodded, "Yes, though you can only summon the 3 of us, since we are the last dragons on Earth, adding in the fact that we are immortal." The silver added in, "If you want, you may also sign another contract, though only 1 more. Naruto shook his head. "Being offered to sign your contract is an honor great enough. I will sign your contract, and your contract only if I can help it." The white dragon nodded and produced a scroll from its scales on the chest. Naruto rolled it open and saw one name only, Senju Hashirama. He felt slightly happy and proud since he was gonna sign the one contract that was only signed by the Shodame. He wrote his name with his blood and placed his fingerprints on it. The scroll then went back to the dragon's chest. The white dragon said once more, "Before you go back and learn the hand seals, I should inform you our names. I am Dragor, the brown one here is Bile, and the silver one is Piscus." Naruto nodded, and he went back out to learn the Kuchiyos no Jutsu from his parents or godparents. Flashback end. Now, the finalists were standing at the Chunin exam stadium, lined up evenly. The council had bitched about Sasuke not entering the finals since he was on a 2-on-1 match and didn't get a chance to show his talent. The fact that one of his opponents was an A-rank shinobi was a fact that made his match unfair, and that Naruto should be disqualified for that. This was shot down by Fugaku, Makoto, Minato, Kushina, and Hayashi immediately. They said it was Sasuke's luck to face Naruto Naruto and Kiba and Sasuke had teamed up on Naruto but was still defeated. As for disqualifying Naruto, they said Naruto didn't do anything wrong, and even questioned the civilian council as to why they were caring so much about Sasuke as he was an Uchiha. This shut them up, giving more proof that they were planning something. Back to the finalists, a man with a bandana walked to them and said, "Now, I'm Shiranui Ganma, the proctor for the final exam. The rules are the same as the preliminaries. I suggest you not to kill if you can help it. It'll make your village look bad if you do, especially you genin from our village, though you could do it, it ain't encouraged. So, ready?" He got nods and then did the voice amplifier jutsu. "Okay, now the first match, Uzumaki Namake's Naruto vs Kirabi of Kyumo. Are you ready?" The crowd screamed in approval as Ganma told the other finalists to go to the participant box. Speaking of a box, we now see the Kage's box. In there were Minato, Kushina, the Reikage, the Kazekage Raza and the Mizukage with Sabuza. The Reikage and Kazekage were there for their genin. As for the Mizukage, she was there to see Haku's match, which Minato accepted. A chuckled as he saw the crowd went wild. "Hokage, it seems your proctor there has some enthusiasm along with the crowd." Minato chuckled back, "Indeed, I'm surprised to see B as a genin since we battled once." A replied, "He was always a genin. He wanted to stay genin, don't know why but he wanted to enter this year's Chunin exams. I only let him take higher missions due to his power." Mei huffed, "More like he wants to fight the famed Kamen rider Faiz, though he takes after you a lot than he seems to, Hokage Dano." I caught the implication and said, "Indeed he does, Hokage, he also destroyed IWA Nin like you did, only on a larger scale and if I remember, like you killed the IWA Shinobi because they threatened Kushina here. Naruto did it because the old fool Inoki ordered Naruto's father figure, Narumi Sokichi, I think to be killed." Minato nodded, "Let's just watch the matches. I want to see how the two fare against each other." Back with the two, Ganma said, "Ready, Hajime." B instantly jumped away while Naruto went into Orphanoch form. Naruto roared and took out the Metaburyu. B smirked and went into the first stage of Bijou mode, the Chakra Cloak. Both demonic-like shinobi vanished in a burst of speed, meeting at the center and clashed punches. B took out one of his blades and fought Naruto on an axe versus sword battle. He found that he couldn't put much damage to the thick armor of skin and went for his 7-sword technique. B spun as the blades in his joints slashed, finally doing damage to Naruto as sparks flew, sending the dinosaur-like slamming into the walls, revealing a reverted human Naruto. He smirked as he wiped his forehead of the sweat and went to go into blaster form, transforming into Faiz first. As he hit the buttons on the Faiz blaster, inside of him, the mountain began to glow brighter every second. Naruto placed the phone into the slot and waited for the familiar sound. Error. In its place came the same voice, but different words. Naruto was confused and was about to check on the Faiz blaster, but he stiffened in pain as he felt a large surge of energy, like when he got the Faiz blaster, but on a much, much larger scale. He was blinded with white light and opened his eyes to see his Orphanoch half. Kanzaki smiled at his original self. "Looks like we meet again, King. Though this will truly be the last time, I made it so that when this time came, I'd reappear. What you experienced just now, it's the Faiz blaster reacting to your Orphanoch nature. It clashes and merges to form a new power." Naruto asked, "New power?" Kanzaki nodded. "When you use either of your strongest forms, the energy output increases. Like the Orphanoch form, this will only emerge when your subconscious deems you to be in a life-threatening situation, which against B, you are. The Hachibi Jinchuriki or any of them higher than 6 tails can kill you easily in any of your current forms if they go into the 5-tail human-sized Bijou mode. The full Bijou mode can kill you since they require energy to stay big, but with the human size, the energy output is smaller and you will be killed in a few. You'll also go berserk this one time. Don't worry about hurting anyone. If there is anyone getting hurt, it'll be B. And I'm sure you'll calm down after defeating him. He can't beat you no matter what form he assumes now. Now, get in, Tiger." Naruto then blacked out. Outside, Naruto was releasing red energy, not unlike a Jinchuriki. And the other Kage snapped their heads at Minato. "He's a Jinchuriki?" Kushina shook her head. No way, how's this possible, he can't be a Jinchuriki. Naruto let out a primal roar, and like a combination of the Faiz and Orphanok transformation, pieces of armor flew from above Naruto and merged with Naruto, forming a red figure with white eyepieces. Cho did heat drive without the belt. B was shocked at the new change. He felt the energy and changed into the seven-tailed human Bijou form. Inside him, Ryuki said, well, we're fucked B. Be wrapped, don't worry, Hachi bro, we will win that's for sure, Kanayaro, Bakayaro. Ryuki replied, I doubt it, he's got the final form. And it looks like it's his first time, he'll go berserk, we don't have the power to stop him. Only Kasumi the Kyuubi can even hope to hold against him. Before B could reply, Naruto shot forward. He appeared before B with his fist arched back and thrust, sending B all the way across the arena, just like B did with him. Naruto stood in a primal stance, legs bent, arms stretched sideways slightly, leaning forward like he was midway to crouching. B stood up, spitting blood from his mouth as he flared his chakra and burst forward. Naruto arched his hand back, fist clenched as lightning surged through it, and pushed forward, sending a blast of energy, and B reappeared where he stood, only slammed into the wall, his foot sticking in the wall with a web crack coming out, unconscious. As if he felt B to be defeated, Naruto's new form disappeared, revealing an extremely tired Naruto. Up at the stands, his girlfriends, and just about everyone had their jaws on the floor. The Kage were all intrigued and were scared of Naruto's new power. Most people would think Naruto used a jutsu of sorts to defeat B, but they knew better. All Naruto used was the mere force of the punch, like how Jinjo mistook Ichigo's blast as the Getsuga Tensho, which was just the force from his blade swung in bleach, that terrified them, as who knows how strong Naruto would be if he fought all out. Chapter 22. After the two guys were sent to the infirmary, Naruto only had strained his body to the point of almost fainting. As for B, he had several broken bones and 2-degree burns, nothing too bad. Inside of Naruto's mind, in the mountain, like the Orphanok mountain, there sat a boy, but unlike Kenzaki, his whole body was in blood-red clothing, hair included. The boy was Naruto's age, he said aloud. Maybe Kenzaki was right, you do show promise. Show me what you got, Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto, do not disappoint me, brother. Back outside, Ganma cleared his throat and said, okay, that was a good match, are you ready for more? The crowd roared in agreement as Ganma smirked. Now, onto the second match, will Uchiha Suki and Sabako Temari come down? The two girls jumped down and stood against each other. Ganma smirked, girls, try to make it like how the previous match went, it'll drive the crowd crazy and make my job easier. The girls sighed and nodded. Ganma's smile widened as he said loudly, okay, the match between two young maidens, Uchiha Suki and Sabako Temari, Hajime. Suki immediately used her manjikyu and yelled, Kamui. Projectiles such as kunai, shuriken, sunbon etc. came out flying straight of the wormhole as Temari swung her gigantic fan, repelling the weapons away. The weapons kept coming and Temari had to swing her fan to repel. Wait, is that a couch? Suki thought, just like Tenten-san, the weapons are useless against her. Hell, even that unwanted couch was being repelled. I guess I'll have to use the Amaterasu or Tsukuyami. The Susanoo is out of question since I want to save it for later use. I'll use the Amaterasu then. Her Sharingan spun rapidly as she yelled, Amaterasu. Black flames appeared as they burned the ground where Temari jumped away from. As Suki moved her head to look at Temari, the flames moved as well, following Temari as she ran. With only wind as her weapon, Temari foolishly swung her fan at the flames in hopes to extinguish it. The plan backfired badly as the flames intensified, moving faster as it became larger. Temari cursed and shouted, I forfeit! I forfeit! I forfeit! Suki stopped her onslaught and looked at Ganma, who nodded, Uchiha Suki. As soon as he said that, the flames extinguished as Suki released her jutsu. Suki and Temari shook hands as they walked back to the finalists' box, the crowd cheering for the two as they showed not only talent but good sportsmanship as well. Occasionally, in the cheers, you could hear fanboys and surprisingly fangirls shouting for Suki and Temari to marry them. Itachi smiled widely, which shocked his family as it was the equivalent of him being proud of them and laughing on the floor rolling. Suki smiled back at her family. As they reached the box, Yuki and Haku congratulated her for her great victory while Kankuro and surprisingly Gaara asked for her well-being. When asked why Gaara asked, he said she was his precious person and he would not stand to letting her get hurt, causing the girl to hug her brother, which she succeeded, something that shocked them even more. Ganma said again, "What a great match. Now for the next match, Sabako Kankuro of Suna and Hyuga Niji of Konoha, please come down." They complied as they faced each other, glaring each other down. Ganma smirked and said, "Two great clans, from two great villages, which will win? Now Hyuga Niji versus Sabako Kankuro, start your engine." The boys took it as starting the match since Ganma leaped away after saying that. Niji immediately rushed forward and began his Juken onslaught. At the audience, Hayashi said to his younger daughter, "Hanabi-chan, watch Niji's style. He developed a style that is just like your Ka-san's. He is a prodigy of the Hyuga like your sister is. This will show you our true power since you've never seen a Hyuga fight a person outside the clan, right?" Hanabi nodded as Hizashi and Hitomi bashed Hayashi on the head. Hitomi said, "There you go again, Hayashi-kun, I thought you were over that." Hizashi continued, "Indeed, Nisan. I thought Hitomi-sama cleared that from you." Hayashi chuckled, "But it's true, Hanabi-chan never saw a fight between a Hyuga and someone from another place." Hinata shook her head as she sighed, "To-sama, he just never changes." Back to the fight, Kankuro cursed as his puppet was severed. He tried using the parts individually but Niji always cut them off first thing, giving him no chance in hell to fight back. Soon Kankuro became desperate and took out one of his newer but weaker puppets. He designed the puppet after Sasori's famous Hirako, used from the inside. He quickly slid in the puppet and coated the tail with poison, swinging it wildly. He was not used to this yet, so his movements were strained. Niji was having a hard time dodging with the standard Juken and went for his own version of the Juho, the Darkumata style. He named it that way since the Juho was like a graceful dance, while his was a forceful yet hard form of fighting, both flexible. The Juho was like light in a way, so he named his the Dark Matter stance. Truthfully, I just finished a HG Asia Dark Matter Gundam model, so I named it after that. Niji moved gracefully, dodging every strike and eventually going into the field of his jutsu. He smirked and said, "It's over, Darkomata, Tora no Tekken." His hand swirled with chakra, forming heads of a tiger as he shot forward, obliterating the puppet. He pointed his jutsu at the puppet user and said, "Yield." Kankuro nodded. Ganma heard this and said, "Sicho Usha, Hyuga Niji." Everyone cheered. At the Kage box, I laughed. Seems Konoha's Genin are taking the lead now. First the A-ranked Kamen rider Faiz showing a new power, then an Uchiha with the Manjikyu, then now a Hyuga with a new fighting style. This generation is gonna be legendary. Minato and Kushina smiled as well. The Kazekage chuckled, "Well, your Genin trashed my children. I see you train your shinobi well, Hokage." Minato nodded as he thought, "Damn Orochimaru, thinking I don't know who you are, I'll enjoy killing you for betraying Sanname-sama and Konoha. Especially harming those innocent children." After sending Kankuro to the infirmary, Ganma called Hikari and Yujito to the arena. Ganma nodded, "You two ready, Hajime?" The two blondes charged, Hikari instantly forming a Rasengan in her hand and Yujito a fireball in her own. Both spheres clashed as the balls exploded. They then traded punches and kicks as they gauged their opponents. Yujito smirked, "Shall we take this up a notch, Imuro-chan?" Hikari smirked back, "Of course, Nasan." Both Jinchuriki flared their demonic chakra. Yujito became a human-sized two-tailed cat while Hikari was coated with yellow chakra, seal markings on her, which made her more prettier. Yujito asked, "Why is your transformation different?" Hikari replied, "I could use the normal one, but this is more suited for human battle." Yujito nodded as the two Jinchuriki vanished and reappeared in the middle of the arena. They traded blows, matching blow for blow. They flipped back as Yujito went to stand on all fours, her tails arching as chakra gathered in her mouth. Hikari smiled as the head of Kasumi's fox form made of yellow chakra appeared with Hikari in the middle appeared. Both had a ball of black chakra now, they released them shouting, "Vijayadama." The two bombs met as a small mushroom cloud erupted from the explosion. Everyone in thing coated with ash, poor Ganma who experienced it firsthand. The fight continued, where Hikari lost in experience, she made it for power and stamina. Yujido made up the lack of power and stamina with experience and timing. Soon, Yujido started to tire and slipped, giving Hikari the chance she needed. Now, Naruto was back at the box. He saw Hikari fought with such power and was proud of her. Hikari noticed him and started to fight with more enthusiasm. She charged when the chance was given, sending a kunai with the Justashiki and Hirashin beside Yujido, Rasengan in hand, and slammed it into the nearby Jinchuriki, sending her flying into the crater beat crashed into earlier, also unconscious. Ganma chuckled at the similar victory by the siblings, and wondered if Haruna would do the same, using his special chakra/energy and wind by sticking their opponents in a same crater on the wall. He announced, "Shoushia, Uzumaki Namikaze Hikari." The crowd went wild and several fanboys also shouted for her to marry them. Hikari smiled as she thought, like I'll ever marry them, all I need is Oniya-chan. She went up to the box and was rewarded by Naruto kissing her. Naruto smiled at her and said, "Nice fight, Hikari-chan." Hikari beamed at him, "Arigato, Oniya-chan, you made all of us worry." She sounded worried at the end, which she was. Naruto chuckled and placed a hand on her head, "I'm fine now." "Sorry for making you worry." Hikari nodded. Beside, the Sabako siblings were surprised. Hikari had addressed Naruto as her brother, yet they kissed like lovers. Are they into incest? "More than you know," Temari asked. "Ano, I'm confused, you addressed him as brother, yet you still kiss like lovers, are you?" Naruto laughed and said, "Yes, our clan doesn't forbid it, and believe it or not, our parents support it as well. They say it'll help repopulate the clan faster since this'll put me under the CRA. Kankuro grumbled, "Damn lucky bastard." He would have worshipped the blonde if he hadn't stopped him from kissing Ayam, but that wasn't the case now. Suki, Yuki and Haku pouted at Naruto along with Haruna, "So we don't get kisses now huh, Naruto-kun/Oniya-chan?" Naruto chuckled and kissed them all, making the Sabako siblings have their jaw on the ground. They were snapped out of the stupor as Ganma announced, "Will Uchiha Yuki and Momchi Haku come down please?" To be continued. G.